Lavender's blue, I wish this was Zone 2. When your sabbatical from any form of structured training, besides that which involves the greatest musical compositions known to a melodically attuned audiophile's golden ears, has lasted over 1,000 times longer than the longest ever performance of Wagner's Ring Cycle, zoning back into the physically rigorous realm of colour-coded cardio is a daunting prospect. No matter the volume, category, or whether it constitutes part of a branded exercise program to get in seasonal shape or prepare for that pivotal sub-40-minute 10K, HIIT-based exertion is invariably geared towards raising the self-harming athlete's level of fitness, increasing the efficiency with which their body can utilize both oxygen and metabolized energy sources, whilst delaying the muscular production of lactic acid and its inherently fatiguing effects. The clichés are endless. Feel the burn to earn. No pain, no marginal gain. Though ultimately, every workout, excluding those prescribed solely for active recovery, is intended to condition oneself to tolerate progressively greater degrees of aerobic discomfort for ever longer time frames. This particular half hour of meticulously moulded masochism is no exception, being evolved from several others bearing a similar moniker, which happens to be shared with a mythical creature that you wish, even before the opening ramp-up, would magically replace your stationary steed, sprout wings, and whisk you away to rest in a thriving bed of the fragrant perennial shrub that is also its prefix's namesake. My battle-scarred SB-20 is notorious for its output lag when configured to erg mode, which is enabled by default during all of Zwift's structured workouts, as well as those one finds within other cycling simulators, and automatically adjusts your smart trainer's resistance level as you begin each interval, allowing the rider to more effectively match each stated power and/or cadence target. Switching to incline, also known as sim mode via Zwift's companion app, allows you to override these dynamic adjustments and manually modify the resistance level by shifting gears or applying your smart bike's V-brake. The Lavender Unicorn consists of an opening primer lasting roughly 5 minutes, followed by a quartet of segmented iterations, individually comprising 3 separate intervals of 3 minutes, 60 and 30 seconds, with the first and last of each set respectively serving as unders and overs, calculated at 15% below and above one's FTP, whilst the middle even sits at a shade over this figure, and more or less bang on what one would ordinarily be able to sustain for 5 minutes. In statistical terms, a monitored and metered sufferfest, spent mostly spinning hard and fast within Zone 5's Royal Mauve mids, and with zero opportunity to conserve energy by choosing to alternate between high and low cadences, in and out of the saddle, when replicating each successive power target, which rendered nearly all of my demonstrably efficient pedalling techniques impossible to apply. From my personal sit point, the cadence targets were consistently too lofty for me to comfortably realise each fixed power output, even after I'd established a suitable gear to spin in, whilst the 3-minute threshold efforts commencing all 4 sets, which should have served as windows in which to partially recover from the precipice of an oxygen death spiral, were themselves still far too close to VO2 vortexes to yield any heartfelt aerobic headroom. A loose grip on the bars, combined with regular transitions between the hood's tops and drops alongside a centered upper body, helped maximise seated leverage points and reduce the chances of cramp, whilst also ensuring a balanced workload amongst all active muscle groups. These long-trusted directives were accompanied by lateral pelvis tilts with each pedal stroke to engage the underused hip flexors, and collectively were pivotal in allowing me to scramble through the last sadistic 30-second surge, half a star short of a perfect score, and nursing an all-too-familiar, bittersweet sensation. Tiny Tempus. half a tick-tock between familial forages, still a little more active than grandfather's clock, and in congenial enough company to make idle time fly. And what more fitting fashion could there possibly be to follow up on such a half-hearted bass-tempo beatdown that fell at least 2 microtocks short of a fugit, than by filling 7 tariff-free bars with liquidated assets? Today's profuse peddling payload comprised an eclectic mix of smartly kitted-out avatars, proudly representing at least a baker's dozen of independent, self-governing nations from across the globe, each conspicuous by their colour-coded emblem, and united in a healthy cause to combine mutual encouragement with wholesome humour, cultivate their collective addiction to gamified exercise, and stay hydrated enough on sapphire slurp juice to complete at least one southbound trek down Watopia's rust-dusted desert highway, where they would comfortably out-drag the Fuego Phoenix from Donut Rock to the old ghost town's last chance saloon, cool off beneath the tumbling waterspouts of a secluded oasis, then synchronise their cadences to the dulcet tones of Johnny Cash, whilst cruising casually through the region's vibrant Googie village, regarding its restless diners and drive-ins flash their fluorescent chorus of mint green, ocean blue, and cotton candy pink, and all after having avoided any uncomfortably close encounters with renegade road runners. 2 parts did this centrally divided session feature, and were separated by a free-wheeled coffee break, along with 1 streamed episode of The Floor, a popular TV quiz show that began life in Australia and recently received its UK premiere. The programme boasts an original format in which a grid of over 60 contestants compete against each other in timed question duels, having chosen their own specialist subject prior to entering. Initially, the first contestant is randomly selected by a computer, who then picks an opponent from any adjacent square in the grid, after their respective categories have been revealed. The nominated contestant's specialist subject is then used within the duel, with all questions being picture-based, requiring participants to correctly identify something, someone, or somewhere they are shown within an image on a large TV screen, before their allotted time expires. Each participant's correct answer freezes their clock and causes their opponents to begin counting down, with the winner gaining control over the other's square and inheriting their chosen question category to defend during subsequent duels. The show's ultimate victor secures control of the entire floor following a decisive face-off, with numerous cash and time bonuses being available to all throughout the series. During the down-under version that YouTube's cosmopolitan content curators saw fit to fling in my playlist's direction, I discovered just how little I know about Australian politicians, pop stars, TV actors, historic landmarks, food and drink brands, and high street retail, though I did recognise at least 5 sports people.